Hello, you're at here again. Now we're going to be working with lab number 6, counters, counting up and counting down. During the past few labs, you have been introduced to almost all of the instructions in the x86 microprocessor. This week will be a hands-on lab writing a few different counter programs from scratch. Some of the programs will be easier than others, but remember to take advantage of using flow charts to visualize the process. Our first program, it will be an 8-bit up and down counter. In an 8-bit counter, we will only use the lower portion of the register we are using to count. In this case, AL. Remember from the past that the AL and the AH are used for 8 bits, AX register for 16 bits, and EAX for 32 bits. Since it only requires 8 bits, the counter will count either up or down sequentially from 0 to 255 or 255 to 0. Let's go ahead and write this program then. I already showed you guys right here, as you guys can see, our setup. Just be aware that this one right here, we're gonna have to use a different name for the reason that this is also being used as an instruction. We cannot name labels with names that are already being set up for instructions, such as we cannot use a label with a MOV because it's already an instruction for the microprocessor. Okay guys, let's go ahead and open up our Visual Studios and continue on. Now here's my Visual Studio. Let's go ahead and click create a new project. Either find your template up here by typing in x86, or in my case I have it right here. Select it, so click next. We're going to go ahead and name it lab 6 program or pro 1. You guys will need to, I'm not going to show you guys program 2. You guys will need to do that one on your own. Your location sets default, uncheck here and click create. And now remember, if you don't put any spaces or make the name too long, otherwise the Visual Studios will give you an error message. Go here, double click here, and now let's go ahead and type in our code right here. Okay, I already typed in my code. I went ahead and put a breaker here by clicking it, like so. We show this on 86. Just go ahead and debug this. Build the solution first. Build solution. And note that I already have put my comments, so be sure you guys put your comments in there too. What does each of these things what does each of these commands do? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and click here, which is the same thing as going to debug, start debugging. Either you press F5 or click here. Alright, if you guys don't have your flag registers appearing here, right click and set that flags. Also, I have my watch here, and from the previous video I got that by going to, let me see, debug, Windows, watch, and watch number 1. Okay, here's what we're going to type in, And this is just for our own personal convenience. So we don't need to go back and forth on converting hexadecimals to decimals. Let me go and put this in order. We have EAX, EBX, and ECX. Okay, EAX, EBX, and ECX. So I recommend to do this from now on, since you guys are going to be working with a lot of registers and comparing numbers from here on. For reference purposes, you guys can also go to chapter 6. I'm looking at page 198. Now, I don't know if you guys have the same textbook as me, or at least the same edition. But yes, I'm chapter 6, where it says program control instructions. I'm looking at page 198. Sorry, 198. That's where you see all your jumps instructions. Now, I've also, let me go back here. Went online, did some Googling. Let me go back to what the actual search question that I did. Visual Studio's flags register means what? And I select, where is it? Oh yeah, here, sorry. So from here, I went down to here, about the registers in Windows Visual Studio. Okay? And about right here, registers flags. Now, your textbook uses actually Visual Studio uses a different notation for your flags compared to your textbook. I guess Visual Studio just wants to be different. Okay, just be aware that the one in your textbook is the norm, the standard. All right. So just having either copy this down, write down somewhere, or take a screenshot. Take a picture of this. But we will look at this from now on to help us with our program. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and run the program. Oh, actually, not run it. We already ran it. Let's go and continue on here. So remember, the whole purpose of this is to start with the number 0 and count up to the number 255 and then stop. So right now, it's going to say whatever value is in start number, in our case 0, move it to register AL. Okay. So there it goes. So it can move to AL. All right. There's no change. That is why it's now red. If you see any of these in red, for example here, it's because there was a change of value. Okay. The same thing with the flags. The flags are all pretty much the default numbers. Okay. Now here it says inc AL. That means increase AL by 1. Okay. Go down. There we go. It went up by 1. All right. Now here it says compare AL with the N number. Our N number is 255. So we're going to compare the 255 with AL. Okay. And see what happens. Notice also the numbers in the flags. Okay. Okay. Notice that these numbers changed. It's because the way it works when you do the comparing, it does some sort of a subtraction. So what it did, it went ahead and subtract the AL minus the N number. So it did a 1 minus 255, which gave us, if you subtract it, it gives us some sort of a negative value. that's when we have a carry. When our carry is this CY is our carry flag. When the carry is 1, that means there was a different exchange. Hence, a decimal value was giving out, or a carry. We're not having a carry value. Okay? Now, JB, that's your jump instructions when it's below the end number. In other words, if this AL is less or below, and by the way, we're using the B for the ones who are unsigned. JL is for those who are signed values. Okay. Okay. So a JB jump to L1 if the number is below N number. So since it is less than 255, that means we're gonna go to the label L1, which is up here. Okay. We're doing like a little loop thing going on here. All right, let's click here. And we're going back up here again. And we're going to increment by 1 AL. So that 1, after by pressing this, you give me a 2, which is correct. All right. And then when I go to compare it, have to compare it. Oops, sorry, I went too fast, guys. See if I can go back. No, doesn't work like that. All right, let's go ahead and try this again. Sorry about that. Just gonna go to number 2. Okay. We compare it. I'm gonna do it. Notice that we have no carry. The carry is still the same, no change. And then now going back up here again, and we start process all over again. Let me go ahead and keep going till we get to the number 254. So we'll see what happened at the end. What happens at the end? Let's just keep going really quick. As you guys can see, it takes a while. So, for the purpose of testing this, I will recommend the following. Stop it here. Instead of 255, let's change it to 10. Okay? So, troubleshooting tip. If you're going to be working with large numbers, start with small numbers and then move yourself up to a larger number. Okay? Into whichever number in your lab. In this case, or project, in this case, is 255. All right, let's try this again. I'm going to save it. Build solution. And that's because I changed one number. Make sure it is good. Click here. My break is still there. All right. So let's continue. Now I just want to go to the number 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Notice that my carry is equals to 1. And I want to show you guys what's happening in the flag registers. 9. Okay, compare. Okay. 10. Compare. See how the flag register changed to 0? Okay. That means something, guys. I'm going to leave that part for you guys to explain your lab report. What's going on there? What's the purpose of this? Okay. And of course, it ends. So yes, remember the carry represents whenever you're doing subtractions or an addition, if there's a carry over. Since it turned zero, that means there was no carry over. Okay. Okay. Well, I hope this video helped you guys with lab number 6, and just don't forget to change this back to 255. And I do recommend to do 10 and then 20 and so on. But remember, you're supposed to have 255 for your lab report. Okay. All right. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget to comment below, like my video, subscribe, and see you guys later. Bye.